Hey y'all, so in this video I'm just going to be showing you how to do your makeup for competition. And so I already put my primer on. It's the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Since I already put the primer on, we're going to start with foundation. I use the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation in the shade 2C0 Cool Vanilla. I don't know if you can see that. I just use a beauty blender. Make sure your beauty blender is damp, not wet and not dry before you start doing your makeup, because also I thought about this while I was putting it on. So for my nose tends to get like pretty oily, so when I'm putting my foundation on, I just use whatever's left over on my beauty blender to put it on my nose so that there's not so much product right there, so that doesn't get oily. And make sure you blend it on your neck because this is not cute. Okay, so now that you've put all your foundation on and you look a little creepy because now you're all one color, we're gonna do concealer. So I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade 12 in Fair Neutral. But what I do is I just like put it under my eyes like this, like not too much because this shade is really light. I put a bit on my forehead, like a little dot. Then I put it around my nose because for some reason this place is always red. And then I just take a little bit, put it on my chin, and then I put it like a dot on each eye because this will help make our eyeshadow look good later. And then I just take the same beauty blender and blend that right in. And then also, if you have like any blemishes or just anything on your face that you want to cover up that's not in these areas, use one that matches your skin better and not just a brighter one like I'm using right now, because I like to use a brighter one under my eyes and just like in these places so that it makes your face have more dimension. Okay, so now that we have all the concealer blended out, we're gonna do some cream contour. Now, you do not have to do this. I just like doing like my cream products and then putting powder products on top because it just makes, I don't know, it makes it look smoother, makes it look a little better. What I'm going to use for my cream contour is actually a concealer, and this is the concealer that I just talked about, the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, except this one is in the shade 35 Deep. And yeah, I just kind of put it on the places that I would contour, so I'm going to put some on my forehead. Okay, and then I also bring it like here because I feel like everyone forgets to like connect their forehead contour to their cheek contour. And then I just kind of put it here, like a little higher up, just to make my face look more sculpted, I guess, and to give it like more shape from putting all this foundation and concealer on. And then also, if you start with it higher up and you're blending it out, it will blend it to like the correct spot. And then I kind of put some here. You don't really have to, and I put some on my nose right there. You don't really have to put it on your nose or like in this spot. I use this little brush from Japanesque. I think I got it at Marshall's though, but it's just like a really like flat, like stiff and dense brush, and you just kind of like, when you're doing this, you want to tap like the same way you want to tap with your beauty blender. Anytime you use your beauty blender, you don't want to like drag it, you just want to like tap your product in so that it's all smooth and nice and blends great with your foundation. So now, once I've done that, we're gonna do some liquid blush, and I feel like y'all know what this is, the Rare Beauty liquid blush. I'm using the shade Encourage. I love this blush so much, but yeah, I'm just gonna use this. And okay, so for competition, you kind of got to put a lot of blush, and same thing with contour, because you want like the judges and like the audience to be able to see all of your facial features and just make sure that it's really defined, and like make sure like you look like you have a face and you're not just like all one color. So normally when I use this blush, I would use like a very little dot, but I think we're gonna do 2 today. I haven't used this one for competition makeup because I just got it, but we're gonna see how it looks. So we're gonna put 2 dots of this, and then I use this brush from it's the AOA F6 brush. If any of y'all know that Miss A store, and also if you cannot find this brush, just either use your beauty blender, like the end of your beauty blender, to blend out your blush, or honestly use the same brush that you use for your contour. But this is like a stippling type of brush, which means like the bristles at the end are like a little bit thinner and just like better for blending out. Like I don't even know, but I think stippling brushes are the best brushes for blush because they just work so good for it. And once I do that, I don't do too much of this powder because we're gonna go in with another powder later. But I use the Maybelline Fit Me powder just to like very lightly set all of this so that I can put the powder version of these products over. And so I'm using the shade 120 Classic Ivory, and I'm using like, I would honestly suggest a bigger brush, but this is just the one that I use like every day when I use this powder, so I'm gonna continue to use this brush. This is from Firm 102. I got this in Ipsy a long time ago, but it is a really great brush. But just kind of get a brush that's like shaped like this. So yeah, and when you're putting your powder on, you want to make sure that everything is blended out with your beauty blender to like blend out all the edges of everything, just like this. You don't really gotta be too specific about it, just like make sure everything's blended. Yeah, and then you just take your powder and you dip it in and then you tap it on. Okay, so you can see that I've set my face, but you can still kind of see all of those products underneath because you don't want to put so much powder foundation on that like you cover up every single thing that you just did. You just want to put enough to set your face so that when you put your powder products on, they don't go all patchy. So now we're going to do some powder contour. And what I use for this is this Too Faced Cocoa Contouring and Highlighting Kit. And this another brush from AOA from that Miss A store. This is the F14, just a fluffy angled brush. Yeah. And then what I do is I go in with medium cocoa, and then sometimes I mix it with a little bit of dark cocoa, but usually I just go in with the medium, and you just want to tap it in, tap, 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 and then tap off a little bit of the excess. And then when you're putting your contour on, you're going to do the same thing. You just want to tap it in first. So we're going to tap it in. And then we're going to take it up here, tap it into the temples. Okay, that looks like a lot, but it's okay. We'll fix it. It'll all look fine in the end. This is like a trust the process kind of thing. I'm going to tap it a little bit more. Just put it on the forehead. And again, we're going to tap all of our products so that they look good. I mean, you don't have to tap every single product. Like, you're not going to tap your eyeshadow in. Yeah, you're not going to tap your eyeshadow. But see the difference? Like, our face has shape now. And then from Titian, since we're going to have our hair in low buns, that tutorial will be coming next. You're just going to want to make sure that you tap that contour into your hairline so that everything matches. And then bam, you're good. And then we're going to come down here, do it lightly, and then also what I do, just kind of make your face look more like, you know, you kind of want to like go downwards, like come at the edge of your jaw and like come downwards like this towards the chin, and it just kind of, it does a little something. I don't really know exactly what it does, but it does a little bit. And then you're just gonna do all of this stuff on the other side. So what I do is I like take whatever is left over my brush and I kind of come here just so that you don't look like you just have like one white patch in the middle of your face. But yeah, now it's blush time. So I have this little Tarte Blush Bazaar Amazonian Clay Blush Palette. I've had this forever. Once again, you do not need an expensive product for all of this, and you do not need this many blushes. But, you know, I got this when I was in my very much makeup artist phase. So, it's just really helped me out. And then again, I'm using another stipple brush. Don't even know where this brush is from. It doesn't have a name on it. But it's another stipple brush for the blush because it just works so great. And I'm going to go in with the shade Exhilarating. It's like a peachy it's like a bright pinky peachy shade. And then I'm gonna mix it with a little bit deeper of a shade. And this color is called Authentic, and it's more of like a berry toned pink. So yeah, I'm just gonna tap into that. Tap into Authentic. Tap off the brush and then tap it onto the apples on my cheeks. And just bring it up here to the edge. And when you put on your blush, you want to smile, because then you really just get this whole area and it puts your blush in the perfect spot. Now, what I'm going to do before I put in my eyebrow gel is I'm going to put in some translucent powder. And this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder. It's in a really big container and it's like pretty good. Just gonna put some in the top there. And then this little powder puff that I have is from Amazon. And then just got powder in there. And then this part's gonna look real crazy. But you take your powder puff, you dip it in the powder, and you put it on those spots that you want to brighten up a little bit more. So I'm putting mine on my forehead, a little bit on my chin, just right here. And then I'm gonna kind of put it on my smile lines, because when I smile, y'all can definitely see those lines right there. And you don't, okay, well, I don't really want those lines to be showing up. So I'm just gonna put that powder there. And then I take it and I put it right under the contour, drag it down, boom. And then you do that to the other side. Basically, just don't be like putting it on like this. This is a time where you don't want to tap, you just want to swipe it. And then we're gonna put it under our eyes. So what I do for this is I like look up and then you just put it on your eye. And then I kind of like to like angle it up like this. And then what I do is I take the rest of it and I bring it to my nose. And then here you want to swipe it again. So then you don't have to contour your nose. It just is already done for you with the powder. And then boom, you look absolutely crazy. And I don't really let mine sit for that long, just for like a couple of seconds. And I use the same brush that I used for my powder foundation to wipe it all off. And then also when you're sweeping it from under your eyes, you want to go like boom, boom. And then that just really helps you make sure that the powder is not sitting anywhere else on your face where you don't want it. So now we're gonna do eyebrows. And what I use for my eyebrows, I just do eyebrow gel. I don't fill in my eyebrows because I don't really know how, and when I do it, it takes way too long because I'm really trying to make them even. But really just pluck your eyebrows and don't like pluck them thin, just like give them like a nice shape. Make sure you pluck your unibrow, people. Pluck that unibrow. But yeah, anyways, I use the Lime Crime Bushy Brow Stronghold Gel in the shade Dirty Blonde. Oh my gosh. And then it's just like a really tiny itty bitty brush. And then all you want to do is just start at the bottom of your eyebrow and just come up and just brush the gel through your hairs until all of them have color. Okay, so now that eyebrows are done, they kind of look like still uneven, but you know what, it doesn't really matter because you can't even really tell. So now that we're done with all of that, we're just gonna go over with a brush one time, make sure everything is blended nicely together, and then we're gonna do some setting spray. I know he's very controversial, so I'm just not gonna talk about it, but this is the Morphe Set and Refresh Mist, and it's like strawberry scented and it smells really good. But I know this has been sold out for a while because they got rid of the collection anyways. But it's the same as the regular Set and Refresh Mist that's in a black bottle, I think. It's really good, and Morphe is pretty cheap, like, and they're really good. So yeah, I'm gonna set my face, and then once you set your face, you don't want to be like talking like this. You just want to like hold your face still and just let it dry down a bit. And then yeah, once I do that, I will come back to you guys and we can start on our eyeshadow. All right, I'm back, and my face has like my setting spray has completely dried on my face, and now we can do our eyeshadow. Okay, so I have a bunch of brushes You do not need a bunch of brushes. I just like using a bunch of brushes because I feel like it helps me better, but it's not necessary, honestly. So for eyeshadow, I'm using my James Charles palette from Morphe because it's a really good palette. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it is actually a really good palette. Oops. Anyways, so like, look at this. Look at all of that. There's so many colors and it just works so good. So anyways, I'm gonna start off with this really big brush from Wet n Wild, actually, to start on the eyeshadow. And this is just like a really fluffy brush that's like not stiff, because you don't want a stiff brush for this part. So I'm gonna go in with this light brown color. I would say it's like a light neutral brown color just to start off with. You're gonna want to make sure all your concealer on your eyelid is blended out so you're not setting a crease in. But I'm just gonna tap it out with my finger for both my eyelids. And I'm just gonna take this color right here and you wanna tap into it. And you wanna tap it off like this. And then you're just gonna wanna tap first, tap the color in, and then go back in with the color, tap it, and then now you're gonna do like a windshield wiper motion, just like this. Just go back and forth with the color, kind of, and if you can, like, try to swirl it while you're going back and forth, because it really just helps. Man, I don't know, it just really helps it look more blended and look a lot nicer. And then you're gonna go and do the exact same thing onto your other eye. Yeah, now that that's all blended out, I'm gonna take this little brush right here. It's another one I got from Ipsy. If you have Ipsy, you know that the brushes that they send are usually pretty good, and I've kept all mine from them. So yeah, just like a flat, fluffy brush that's much smaller. And we're gonna go into the same shade, tap it off, and then you're just gonna go under your eye with it. And you don't want to go under the whole eye, just about from halfway all the way to the end of it. And you just want to kind of bring it up to connect right there to the edge of where you put the eyeshadow on the top of your eye, just so that it looks very smooth. I have put it under my eye on both eyes and just made sure it's all blended out up here. We're gonna go in with our next color. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, oh wait, no, we're not doing that brush yet. I'm gonna take my Morphe brush. This is an M4, it's either a 403 or 433. I don't know, the label is kind of rubbed off because I've had it for a long time. But it's just a like very round, fluffy brush. I don't know, it's just a little bit smaller so that the eyeshadow doesn't go everywhere, but you're still able to blend everything really nicely. Anyways, I'm gonna mix these two big shades right here. But anyways, I'm gonna mix these two together, so I'm just gonna like tap like this, tap tap, and then really tap off my brush. And then for this part, I'm just gonna start from the inner half of my eye and then bring it to the outer part of my eye. So we're gonna start here. We're just gonna bring it out like this. And you don't wanna, again, like be stabbing yourself in the eye, like just be very light-handed. And then we're gonna, what we're gonna do is we're gonna like put it here on the outer half of your eye and just kind of bring it down like that. And then really blend it right in this area. And we're just gonna bring it out some. I would say spend the most time on your eyeshadow, making sure your contour and blush are good, and making sure your lipstick is good. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take the same brush. I'm gonna put it right on the outer half of my eye right there. Not bringing this shade as far in as the neutral brown shade that we just used. But yeah, kind of like that. And then we're gonna tap it into the same colors, and I'm going to go and do the same exact thing on this eye. Okay, so now that we have done this to both of our eyes, it kind of looks uneven, so I'm just gonna fix that real quick. But anyways, once you've done that to both of your eyes, what I'm gonna do is, okay, so you gotta make your eyes dark for competition. Like, you really gotta make them like not like super duper dark, but pretty dark. So what I do is I'm gonna mix these. I'm not gonna use black because we're going for like a warm brown smoky eye, not a gray black smoky eye. So we're just gonna mix this deep, cool, neutral brown shade. And this is more of a, this is a dark, like a very dark, I would say, this is honestly a little bit more of a warmer toned brown shade. But anyways, what I'm gonna do with those two is I'm gonna take this itty bitty brush. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to mix these together, just like I did these two shades. I'm gonna tap it off. And then we're just gonna come right here under the eye, right here, and just put those colors down. Just like that. And then you're gonna tap into them again. Tap off your brush. And then we're gonna come right here on the lash line and just blend that color in like that, and just bring it up a little bit, just really into this outer half of the eye. And this will also help define that cat eye shape a little bit more, and just kind of bring it in. Oh my god, I like poked myself in the eye. Make sure you don't do that because you don't want your eyes to be watering. But anyways, so once I've done that, I'm gonna blend it in just with the rest of the colors. And then now your eyeshadow is much, much darker. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna very slightly bring it in here just to add that dark color. This is just with the excess that was on this brush, just to bring that dark color kind of to the whole eye, but so you still have the dimension. So now that we've done that to that eye, we're gonna go and do the same exact thing on this eye, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now that I've done that to both my eyes, we're gonna go back in with, hold on, not this brush, this brush, and we're gonna take these two colors again that we used that are a bit more warm, mix them together, top off that brush, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of blend more towards the inner half of our eye on our lower lash line, just kind of blend these two colors together and just make everything look smooth and nice. And then do it again on the other eye. Just gonna bring it in a little bit, not all the way to the inner corner of our eye, because we're saving that for our gold eyeshadow that we're gonna put there in a minute. They just need to be dark. Just make sure your eyes are dark. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our little bit of gold, and I use the Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter actually for this, not even eyeshadow, just because I find that it works the best. This is in the shade Champagne, and it's just like a really pretty gold color. Here's what I think is the better option, is you just put it on your finger and then you just swipe it on your eye. And then just take the brush and I do the inner half, like the very inner corner where my finger does not fit, and then just bring it up like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're also gonna take the brush and use it for our lower lash line, just because my finger does not fit right in this little area. But we're just gonna do the same thing, swipe it right on there, just like this. Okay, so now that all of our gold eyeshadow is on our eyes, we're just gonna take our big fluffy brush that we used for our neutral eyeshadow, and we're just gonna blend right here on the top of each eye. And you're gonna take your little brush that you used for under eye and just blend right there. And then boom, now your eyeshadow is done. So, okay, so now it's time for mascara. Now for competition, I do not curl my eyelashes before I put on mascara, because when you put on fake eyelashes, it makes your job much harder, and there's really no reason to make your natural eyelashes look good when you're just gonna put fake ones on top of them. Anyways, so today I'm going to use the Milani Highly Rated mascara, just a regular black non-waterproof mascara. It has a pretty nice brush. I'm just gonna wiggle it through my eyelashes, just like this. You wanna make sure you wiggle the brush, just so that it gets on all of your eyelashes and that they're all covered, because it looks really silly if you put on fake eyelashes and your natural eyelashes are all powdery and crusty from all of your previous makeup. But that's what the mascara looks like when it's done. You know, just make sure all of your eyelashes are completely covered. So while I'm letting it dry, we are going to do some lipstick. And also, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video, but I have put Aquaphor on my lips, just because usually your red lipstick should be matte, so it really shows up everything on your lips if you have some dry lips. So make sure to just put some chapstick on or something like at the beginning of your makeup, just to make sure that by the end when you're doing your lipstick it all goes on smoothly. So anyways, let's start with the lipstick. So we're going to use this Maybelline Superstay ink crayon in the shade 50. It's called Own Your Empire. And then also I have sharpened mine, because the cool thing about this one is this bottom piece right here just comes off and you can just sharpen your lip pencil just so that you can line your lips easier. Because I only use use this for lip liner because I use a different lipstick to fill it in. Yeah, you just kind of come here and just align your lip. Okay, so I did my lip liner, and it's okay if it's not like absolutely perfect, because we're gonna fix it with the lipstick anyways. Just wiping off my fingers because I had to fix some places, but that's okay. So now I'm going to use my Fenty Stunna lip paint, and this is the color Uncensored. Very good one. It lasts all day. It's honestly hard to get off, but that's what makes it so good, is because you don't really have to reapply it throughout the day because it just stays on. And the applicator is really nice, and it just goes on super smoothly. So I'm just gonna show you guys. Like, look at that. And it's such a great shade for literally everybody. So yeah, I'm just gonna go put this on, and I'm gonna leave the center of my lips open because I'm gonna show y'all a little life hack. Okay, so now that we've put on our red liquid lipstick, to make this look a little bit brighter, just so that it matches like everything a little bit better, you're gonna rub your lips like this, just so there's like a very little bit of space. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this very, very hot pink lipstick. This is from Lime Crime in the shade Scene Queen. And it is a very hot pink lipstick, but that's why we're just putting it like the various little bit in the center. So I'm just gonna take it and I'm just gonna go like this. I'm just gonna really blend this in, okay? And you're just gonna take your finger and you're gonna blend it into the red. Okay, so I'm back and it is time to do our eyelashes. My glue that I'm using right now is the Duo brush on adhesive. This is the green one. Normally I would use the Kiss Lash adhesive because I think that one's the best one, but this is just the one I'm using right now because it's the only one that I could find at Target. Right eye. So your eyelashes usually, if they're these ones, they will start shorter, which is the part that you want to put in your inner corner, and then the part that's a bit more longer, you're gonna want to put that part in your outer corner. And then also, before you put on your eyelashes with glue and everything, sit it on your eye first and make sure that they fit your eye. Like, make sure it's not like hanging off the edge like this or like too far in the inner corner. And what you're gonna do is you're just going to put it only on the lash band. Don't like put it like on the bottom of the lashes or the top of the lashes. You only want to put it right here on the part that's going to go on your lash line. And then I'd say let it dry like 20-30 seconds, just so that the glue gets like tacky, because if you try to put your eyelash on your eye while the glue is still wet, it's going to be slipping all around your eye. You're going to have glue all over your eye and in your eyelashes, and then every time you open your eyes, your eyeballs are going to your eyelids are going to stick to the top of your eye. Okay, so I use my fingers to put on my eyelashes. Tweezers do help. I would recommend them, especially if you are struggling and you just need some extra help putting your eyelashes on, because they really do help. I'm gonna hold it in the middle of the lash. So if you had tweezers, you would just grab close to the lash band, but not exactly on the lash band, so that the glue doesn't get on the tweezers. I don't think y'all are gonna be able to see this, because yeah, no, y'all aren't, because I'm trying to get in my mirror. But yeah, basically you put it on the middle like that, and then you take the outer corner and you stick the outer corner on like that. I don't know if y'all could see any of that. And then you're gonna, okay, this is kind of complicated to do on camera. Now I understand what the beauty gurus are talking about when they say, I'm gonna do this off camera. Anyways, you're just gonna stick it down on the inner corner of your eye. And hopefully y'all will have a better and easier time of doing this than I am right now. And then I kind of push them up like this, just to make sure they're not like angling downwards. Yeah, and then there you go, you have an eyelash on, or an eyelash, sorry. Okay, so both of the eyelashes are on. And now, while they are drying down, we're gonna put on some highlighter. So I use the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. It is very good, very shiny, very sparkly. Anyways, we're gonna put it right on the tip of the nose, just like that. And then we're just gonna put it on our inner corners. And I kind of bring it up and mix it into the gold eyeshadow that we put, just for some extra shimmer. If your eyelashes are dried and you feel like they are not as like connected to your natural lashes as you wish they were, like they're like, you can still see like a little gap where like the eyeshadow and your skin is, just use your same mascara once they have dried down and just blend them together. If that still doesn't work, get either a black or a very dark brown eyeliner, and you're gonna lift your eye up like this, and you're just gonna put it on that waterline area. After this, just put on some, like just a little more blush maybe, and just keep your blush and your eyelash glue and your lipstick with you all day. You know, make sure it's in your bag, because those are very important. And I really hope this video helped y'all. If y'all ever have any questions on how to do your makeup, and then obviously I'm going to be doing my hair video later, so if y'all have any questions on how to do your hair, just let me know. I'll definitely try to help you as much as I can. Yeah, also I would say this makeup takes anywhere from in like 45 minutes at like the least, but I would say usually for me it takes like an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, but I would say usually this makeup takes about an hour to do. So just make sure that y'all give yourselves time to do this. And then the hair, I would say it takes me about 15 minutes to do my hair, so just make sure you give yourselves at least an hour and a half to do your hair and makeup, just so that you're not rushing and so that everything is good and that you have time in case you mess up on anything.